What is up, tube users? I'm the Stereotypical Gamer, and welcome back to another episode of Z to A. Today, we are taking a look at a first-person shooter with one of the best campaigns, I think, in all of gaming, and that is Titanfall 2. Now, I originally played this game back in 2016 when it first came out, played through the campaign, enjoyed it a bunch, played some multiplayer, but wasn't really anything else that drove me to play the game, so I just kind of left it after that, didn't really play anything. And then Apex Legends comes out, which is kind of the sequel to this game, I guess, in a way. It's in the same universe, and a lot of the same weaponry, which I found kind of funny coming back to this game. But anyways, Apex Legends came out and I've played a bunch of that, and then just recently I saw this game on sale at Steam for $5, and I was like, I haven't played through the campaign in almost 10 years, so I was like, why not try it out? And man, it is kind of crazy how much it feels like Apex Legends, but this was the game that came out first, so it's just kind of cool to see all those mechanics at play before they were even a popular thing in that game. And that's one of the huge positives of this game, is the movement and gunplay are just absolutely phenomenal. I think the variety of weapons, it's kind of hard to remember what each weapon is because they have unique names to this game, so it's kind of hard to remember what each weapon is at the start, but once you know the weapons, it gets kind of easier, and the uniqueness of each of them and how they feel is just so smooth, and it's just super enjoyable, combining that with the super fast-paced movement and just the amount of things that you can do with the movement, like wall riding, double jumping, all these things that you can combine together to make these really cool plays, just create such a fun first-person shooter. That's just the shooting aspect, the boots on the ground kind of aspect of this game, which is only half of it. The other half, you are in a giant titan fighting other titans, sometimes just fighting a bunch of enemies on the ground, and yeah, the Titan mechanics, I mean, it just kind of feels like a larger first-person shooter, like just boots on the ground kind of thing. But the movement and stuff, it's different from how you play boots on the ground. I don't think there's a double jump. It's more of a boost fly kind of mechanic, and you have these dodge strafes and stuff. So it feels a lot different playing in a mech, and it makes for just another really smooth first-person experience in this game, and just having these two combined together makes for one of the most fun experiences just in the campaign. I mean, the multiplayer obviously is really fun, but I think it's best enjoyed through the campaign first, just because of how you experience everything and how everything is shown and displayed to you. Now, the story of the game, I don't really remember. I've only played through it the first couple of missions just recently, and none of the story kind of comes back to me because I played through it, and the gameplay I vividly remember. I will remember places to go and what to do at different locations, and I just don't recall anything from the story. And I don't know if that is just because it wasn't that great, or if it was just kind of basic. It seems kind of basic, at least from the first couple of missions. I definitely want to play through this campaign again because it is a really fun campaign gameplay wise, and I think that's really all you need to carry a game, honestly. If you have this excellent gameplay, the story just kind of becomes secondary, and that's kind of what it feels like this game was. And if I look at my favorite campaigns in just all games of all time, this is definitely one of the best, and compare it to other ones that I think are really great. And a lot of them just have really great stories, also good gameplay, but this one I just don't think the story really holds up that well, but the gameplay supersedes that so much. And just the things that you can do in the campaign, the just overall mechanics of everything and how they're utilized so perfectly in the campaign just really makes it just such a fun game to play. You take the great gameplay in this game, combine it with the great movement that this game has, and put it in this absolutely gorgeous sandbox that this game is played in. I mean, this game came out in 2016, and it just looks photorealistic. It's kind of crazy to think about, because I honestly don't think I can name a game that looks better than this. And you add these larger-than-life mechs that are just so fun to play, that combines everything into one and just makes it all larger-than-life. It just makes for an excellent game, there's no other way to put it. But as far as playing this game today, obviously if you haven't played through the campaign, I would highly recommend, because it is definitely one of the best first-person shooter campaigns out there, just in terms of fun gameplay. The story is kind of basic, but the overall gameplay of things is just so fun that it's worth it in the end. But I know the multiplayer aspect of this game is still alive. I did not check to see if it's still very active or anything. I'm sure it is, because this is a pretty big game. And I definitely do want to try it out, because while I do love Apex Legends, and that's just kind of like an updated flavor of this game, right? Apex is only a battle royale, so you don't really have like the team deathmatch aspect of things. Yeah, there's Titans in this game, which kind of gives it a different flavor to Apex and makes it its own unique thing, which is kind of cool, and I really would love to get back to it as long as the community is still active, which I can't imagine it not being. Now, I've gone over some of the good and obviously some of the bad, but I did want to touch on some of the other frustrations I had with this game. And it's a common trope that I've had with a couple of other games, but this one was a little bit more frustrating. For some reason, some of the games that I've played that have like a save state, like Horizon Zero Dawn or Mass Effect, these games that like it will save your progress or whatever, they give you a warning that, oh, something's wrong and your game will not be saved, which I'll usually just have to try and find a fix to, and I usually can find a fix to it, so it's not a big deal in the end. This game, I believe, had the same problem, because anytime I either died or like I quit out of the game or anything like that, it would restart. Like, it wouldn't save my progress at all. There was no saving in the game, and it took me a while to figure it out, because I just kind of thought that it was like a hardcore mode or something like that, but there was a bug or something in the game to make it so it wasn't saving at all. So it's just kind of frustrating to figure that out, and to have to go through the entire opening of the campaign, which is a really cool opening and everything, but to have to keep doing that every time you died and every time I quit out of the game. Like, I couldn't get to the second mission even though I passed through the entire first one. It was just a really frustrating experience, and I don't think it's a common thing, but it was something that there was no notification that things weren't saved in this game, which is different compared to other games that I've played. Other than that, like, once I figured out the problem with that and I got the game saving properly, I had no other issues. Everything ran super smoothly, and overall this game is just a fun experience. I don't think there's anything else gameplay-wise that is wrong with this game. Yeah, the story is a little bit bland, but that's like the only bad thing I really have to say about this game. One of the other things that I think is really cool about this game is just because the complexity of the movement system with the wall riding and double jumping, it can be kind of difficult to know where you're supposed to go. And so having this like tutorial system that like scans the area and projects a ghost that shows you where you should go and like what you should do is just a really good, helpful way to kind of put it into the game, a tutorial system as it were, and showing where to go. And it's a great thing. I used it a couple of times at the beginning just because I got lost, but it is just such a great little system that really helps people that probably don't know the game as well as others. One other thing that I loved about the sandbox, other than it being just absolutely gorgeous, is that when you are in the boots on the ground, which is most of the, at least first part of the campaign, a lot of the areas just feel so large it almost kind of feels like an open world because you have to fit these titans in here and you have to play through these areas with them at some point, so they do have to be a little bit larger, but to be in that kind of small person and just being able to explore these really big worlds that are just absolutely gorgeous is really fun. Even though there's not a whole lot of secrets, I didn't find any. Obviously, I went through and was looking for stuff just because of how gorgeous everything looked, but I didn't really find anything. You'll find like the occasional like sniper off in the distance or something like that, but there wasn't really anything all that interesting compared to other games that I've played. And I think getting in the Titan for the first time is one of the best experiences in gaming of all time, because you start playing this really fun first-person shooter that has really great shooting mechanics, really great movement, and just a great overall atmosphere, and then you get into this Titan, which is this larger than life creature, and you're playing like an entirely new first person shooter at that time. You're going up against other Titans that have similar abilities. You can do all these different abilities that kind of create like almost like an Overwatch kind of gameplay, you know, of just different heroes and stuff, and it just flips everything that you knew on its head and is really enjoyable, I think, and it's totally unique on its own just to have these two kind of first-person shooters in a single game and meld together so well. But that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like if you did. I'll definitely be checking more of this game out because it was a blast to play through. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.